Hi everyone, Luna here. I am back with another prophetic word and message from my ancestors. I also have a prayer that I'm going to share with you guys at the end. But before I do that, I just want to remind you guys to please subscribe, like, share. It gives, the algorithm, it keeps it going. And also we want to spread these messages so that more people are aware of what's going on. Also, we do have a community that if you want to be a part of, I will share the link below where you can apply. We are a free community, meaning we are a free church. And so that allows us to practice our freedoms and sovereignty in the way that we were born into. And then also the EE systems. If you are within the Ventura County area or you're ever visiting around the Fillmore area and would like to attend our center, I'm going to share the link below so that you can schedule your appointment, or maybe you want a little bit more information. You can also do that. Send me a message and I will reply. The email I will provide is so that you guys can either send prayer requests or share your downloads and your messages that you guys are receiving as well. I love sharing them here, or you can also share them below in the comments, as long as they're uplifting and just really raising vibration, bringing the collective together, and just overall with good intention for the greater good of all. And with that said, I am going to get into it. For those of you watching for the first time, I'm going to read the word that I received. I also expand on it. So as I'm reading, I might pause and go deeper into what that particular, what that particular sentence or phrase is telling us, because sometimes there's more to it than we just hear on the surface. Okay, so let me begin. It says, okay, I have prepared you for this time. This is the time to redeem what they took from you and will try to do again. I remind you, a bird can't fly if they are in a cage. They have clipped your wings, but fortunately, they grow back. They have done horrible things to your children, lands, and body. They think they will get away with it because they have for so many years, and they will continue to if you allow it. Remember, I told you dark times are ahead. I told you to know me and trust in me, not man. I told you to stay in peace, calm, and grounded. I told you I will be walking with you even if it doesn't seem that way. I told you that's when you pray the loudest. For that is when breakthroughs will happen. That is when those who kept me near will reap my glory. That is when you will harvest what you've planted in my name. Do not be afraid when darkness comes. You may not see me, but I'm still there, no different than when the light is on. Continue to wear my shield. Keep yourself balanced with sound, earth, fasting, and detoxing. My children, walk in faith, love, unity, and my word. So I'm going to go over it now. I thought I was going to expand as I was reading, but that didn't happen that way. So it's fine, because sometimes I have to cut it in sections and it just works out better that way. I like to just go to what stands out the most, because I feel like that's the whole message, the whole word is important. But there's some that are, again, you go deeper into them and they're just things that he wants us to focus on. So for example, I remind you, a bird cannot fly if they are in a cage. They have clipped your wings, but fortunately they grow back. So when I was writing that, what I received is a vision of the elephant. So I know that he's talking about the bird, which is very true. A bird, the whole, like, part of the purpose and the beauty and their freedom is to be able to fly. And if they're in a cage, they cannot do that. And it goes same with us. If we are constantly following tyrannical, mandates and stuff that is not, it's basically going against our free will, our freedoms, our sovereignty. We're basically that bird in a cage. But also, what I want to share about the elephant is that I had received a vision of the elephant. Some of you may have come across this video where, and it's truly sad, that this elephant was chained up for so long that when they took the chains off, it was still, doing the same habits that I knew for so many years as if it was chained up. And all this is imposed through fears, because they abuse some of these elephants. And it's sad, being chained up like that is abuse in itself, because again, it's supposed to be free, roaming, enjoying life, not chained up that way. So this elephant knew no different, that when it was finally free to go, that's all it knew to do. And so sadly, that is what's going on with a lot of people. That is why they go along with what they go along with, because for so long they were depending on certain things, whether they're assistance. And I'm trying, again, not to say too many words, but you can read between the lines. And they rely on certain people to take care of them. So they go along with it. Or they're afraid, they're in fear of what might happen, what could happen. And they take chances, they take risks with their bodies, and they take risks with their life, basically. And it's really, really sad. So Creator is saying, this is the opportunity to take back your sovereignty, your freedoms, because they're going to try to push this again. I don't know if you've already come across, maybe you have or you haven't heard, but they're going to attempt to bring everything back again. And so when that happens, if it happens, Creator saying that it is important for us to basically, not allow that to happen. I'm trying to find where it is, because I want to read it exactly how it was, but I can't find it at this moment and talk at the same time, because then I lose the download or the channel that I'm getting at the moment. So Creator saying it is up to us to not allow that to happen anymore, because remember, the last message I spoke about the spell being broken, and I spoke into saying that the only way that can happen again is if we allow it to. So this is part of that. It says here, okay, so here it is. They think they will get away with it because they have for so many years, and they will continue to if you allow it. So the only reason why they've been doing this for so long is because a lot of the people went along with it, and for whatever reason it was. But now is an opportunity for us to hold them accountable, first and foremost, because they've done such heinous things, crimes against our children, our lands. I mean, look at the fires. They're creating a bunch of different scenarios that are not natural. And when I refer to that, I'm talking about, the hurricanes and the earthquakes and all this that's happening right now. It's not all of it is, natural. And so they are not stopping, and they're not going to stop even if you go along with their nonsense. It's actually helping them. So it's important that you realize this, because we must stop them now, because we're not going to get another chance. And so it says, remember I told you dark times are ahead. I told you to know me and trust in me, not man. So what that means is, as we go into the dark times again, hopefully not, because awareness does shift the outcome. when I give these messages, it's with the hopes that all our energy put together will shift that from happening. Because when I give you messages, they're not set in stone. We have free will. That's why I keep repeating that. And our free will collectively, if we don't go along with their stuff, then we stop other stuff from happening. It's like a ripple effect of how do I want to say it? Not disarming, but I mean, I guess I could say that it's like you interrupt what they were going to do, what their plans are. And this is why I repeat often. It is important that we all do our part, because that shifts their outcome. Remember, this is a spiritual and physical war. So our energy influences things. So when we don't participate, it influences the outcome. And so when the darkness starts feeling like it's upon us, this is why Creator keeps saying, I'm still walking with you, even if it doesn't seem that way. That is very important for you to remember that. I told you that is when you pray louder. So when we are in that space of uncertainty, that is when our faith and our relationship with Creator should be stronger and our prayers the loudest. That is when the breakthroughs happen. That is when our faith and our trust in Creator magnifies the love. And in that energy, in that space of love, the negative or the evil cannot live within that. And that's why we have those breakthroughs. And then it says, that is, so those who do that and follow and continue to listen to God's word and not man will reap his glory. And that's important to remember, because if you are being faithful to him, God's always faithful to us. So he's always going to reward us, but it's going to be on God's time. And this is where our trust in him comes in. And we must continue to water, the seeds that we're planting, and continue to care for the things that we are told, right? That we are told to walk in his word. So as long as we continue to do that, then we are growing our garden that later we will reap. And it says, that is when you will harvest. Okay, that is when you will harvest what you've planted in my name. That's just, again, phrasing what I just spoke into. And then he talks about wearing his shield, and this is the God of the armor of God, but also it's his robe, and I talked about that the last time too. So remember, we can call upon his robe to absorb any fear, absorb any anxiety, any worries, and also to protect us. So wearing his shield, the God of armor, is important for us to know that that is available to us. Keep yourself balanced with sound, earth, fasting, and detoxifying. These are ways for us to keep our body nourished, our energy clear, our vibration, high, so that we rise above all that energy that is happening right now, so that we're not pulled into that fear or that old pattern again. And then, it just says, my children walk in faith, love, unity, and in my word. So yeah, very beautiful, very powerful word. Also, I want to talk about another vision that I was given. I didn't understand it at the time, and I didn't really go into breaking it down. But then later, I was shown what it meant, and I'm still kind of processing. And so I didn't write much, or I didn't write anything on it, but I do want to share it because it is important. So I had a vision. I was given a vision during my sleep time, came to me in a dream, where everybody was wearing blue. So I was like in a reunion, some sort of either a school reunion or it was like a wedding. It was something formal. And all the girls were wearing this beautiful blue color dresses. They're like I want to say like a indigo blue or a royal blue. Yeah, that's more the colors. It's like a royal blue. And I was wearing a slightly different uh, shade of blue. It was a lighter blue. And I just remember hearing, no, it's not that color. You have to wear the color blue that they're wearing. So I woke up feeling like that was a strong message, but I couldn't really decipher it at the time. It was just very apparent that I had that dream. And so then later, like a day later, I'm driving around running some errands. And there's a store, it's a clothes store, and it's like, one of those little small mom shop clothing stores. And they had a lot of mannequins and a lot of clothes hanging out, or hanging up outside the front, like on the sidewalk. I kid you not, every single one of those was, mannequins were dressed with nothing but blue, that same blue that I just dreamt about. And I was like, whoa, that's like, I mean, that's just very specific. And so these are the ways that spirit, speaks to us. And so I said, okay, I'm paying attention, Spirit. What are you telling me about that? And so then later that evening or sometime in that day, I go on social media just to kind of check in, see if I have messages and all that stuff. I don't like spending too much time on there because it's just, I don't. But anyways, that's another thing. But I come across a post that there was actually two different posts that I come across where they were talking about the fires in Maui and how a lot of everything, just about everything disintegrated except for the things that were blue. That blew my mind. And so I was like, wow. And the reason I'm sharing all this with you is because that tells me that color is very spiritual color. It is the third eye color. If you follow that, then you know the chakras. It is a very spiritual color that allows us to see beyond just, this reality. And also, it's a high vibrational color that is protectant. And so I'm sharing this with you to say that it's important for you guys to start wearing more of that color because it's going to raise vibration and serve as protection. So this is just something that I was gifted, downloaded, and you're welcome to incorporate it or leave it. But I know that I will definitely listen to the messages because, again, the purpose of these messages and why they're given is because they are clues and they are guiding us through these times and how to protect ourselves, how to raise collective vibration, how to nurture ourselves. And so if wearing that blue color is going to help, then I'm on board. So I hope that you guys, also start wearing that color. Again, it's like I don't want to, it's not it's a beautiful, I wish I had something to show you guys, but it's like an indigo blue. It's a deep royal blue. So just kind of look that up. But either way, in the blue family, excuse me, I think that would be good enough. So I'm going to read the prayer and then I will end with pulling two cards. Okay, so the prayer says, let me get centered here. Creator, I ask that you speak to my heart, that you amplify the wisdom within me. Help me see through your eyes and know with my heart. I welcome your love to pour over me and within me, permeating my mind, body, energy, and expanding outwards to the world and people. I ask to be anointed by Christ consciousness and I call upon you and my ancestors to walk with me through whatever comes ahead, clearing and opening the path to love, creation, freedom, and unity. So it is. So I just love opening my mornings with that prayer. I hope you guys enjoy it and that you guys feel called to it to incorporate it into your meditations. I will be sharing it on social media. So if you don't already follow me, I will leave the link below so that you can do so if you feel called to it. And then other than that, let's see what message Spirit has. And this is, again, just a way for us to close our time together and also guidance on how to continue our process collectively and individually. Okay, so I feel like this card. This one says, Sky Dancers, Surrender. It's just beautiful. And so, yes, surrender to the process of what is happening as far as, because I don't want to confuse you guys, not surrender to them, absolutely not surrender to them. It's surrender to knowing that this process that we're experiencing is part of the healing for humanity. It's part of I don't like using the word awakening, but it's part of consciousness. Thank you. I heard, no, not awakening. We're all awake. We're just having our own process. But it is part of, humanity expanding, our consciousness. And so surrender to the process and knowing that it is part of it, and it's not for us to be in fear, but it's for us to just grow as a people and to go back into our spiritual self of love and freedom, as I was saying. Just surrender and know that things are going as they should. So as long as you continue to make choices from your heart, right? That's important. Okay. And from this one, and let me just say, I like to share the decks, which ones I'm pulling them from. That one was from the Shaman's Dream by Alberto Villoldo. I pretty much butchered his last name, but I think it's my accent. Okay, and this one is from Archangel Animal Oracle cards. I love this one, and I love the animals because they're so intelligent. They tell us so much. They're very intuitive, and if you pay attention to them, they're good teachers. They tell us how to survive. They tell us how to doctor ourselves. They're very in tune with Mother Earth. In fact, my cat, I'll tell you this story really quick. When we had the earthquake the other day, the reason I knew something was about to happen is, the whole day felt kind of weird. I knew that there was the hurricane happening because they had been said, but it just felt different. So I was a little confused. I was thinking maybe it's the hurricane. But anyway, so, my cat, I was walking past her and I see her do one of those and I feel like, oh, that's a different look. And within seconds, it started shaking. So they're very intelligent and they're very in tune and they know and see things before we do. And the only reason for that is because they're always just, they're being, right? They're not doing, they're being, and we're always doing. So when we slow ourselves down, we're actually able to feel and tap into those vibrations as well, and we can understand what's happening. That's why I like the animal cards. I said all that to tell you that. Okay, so the one I pulled is Hedgehog. Be a magnet for light, love, and joy. Yeah, so that is pretty much what comes in is yes, be a magnet. Choose to be that light, that vibration, wearing the colors that are going to raise that vibration, the collective vibration, but also influence the outcome of things. So it's important that we are what we envision, right? So we don't want to be in the I want to do this or I want to be that. We do that, or we get there by embodying that energy, by being present with that vision. And we do that by practicing it, putting it into practice, not just saying, I want to. So that's very important for us to really incorporate the knowing that we have access to that right now. We have access to the all right now. It doesn't have to be out there or outside of us. It's happening now, and we have access to all of the abundance in whatever it is that we want. It's up to us to harness it, to take action upon it. So I hope that you take action upon it and that you bless yourself in the way that you deserve, because we all deserve to be abundant and blessed. So with that, I love you guys. Until next time. Thank you for staying to the end.